Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So today we're going to be doing a story time, and yeah, these are going to be gross. They're going to be funny.
Hopefully we don't tell them as bad as we look.
Yeah.
We kind of just woke up, but hey, seizing the day. Alright guys, let's go. Okay guys, so for our first story, it's going to be about me. She wasn't here. Okay, so picture this. It took place kind of in my front yard / street. Anyway, so it started with me walking down the street. I was having a rough day. Needed to take a walk, so I did. And I was walking, not far from my house, maybe 2 houses down. This van goes by. It's a blue, beat up minivan, and there was a guy in there. He may have been Hispanic or Indian. He was dark skinned. I'm not trying to be racist or anything, just stating a fact. He could have been purple.
You don't have to say he's not being racist, that you're not being racist if
Some
you're just
people
describing him.
Some people could get offended, and I don't want to offend anybody.
Okay.
So, yeah, he had dark curly hair, kind of like hers, and it was definitely a man. So he drove by rather slowly, and it's 25 mile an hour road. He was going maybe 10. So that was it was weird. He was maybe in his 20s, 30s. Definitely young 30s. Anyway, so yeah, he walked by he didn't walk by, he drove by. Stares at me as he goes by. It was just kind of creepy. I was like, okay, whatever, okay. And then I go back to put the lights down.
Oh, sorry.
So I go back to my house, and I sit down in the grass. And he's parked. Okay, so my neighborhood, it's kind of like a circle shape, kind of like a square almost. And then there's streets in the middle. I live all the way in the back street. And at each corner, there's like a little circle. You know what I mean? Anyway, so he was parked at one of the houses on the circle part. And I could see him. He was just sitting there. It was kind of far because we live in the middle of the street. So, yeah, maybe 200 feet away. And I mean, I couldn't see him. I could see his silhouette. And he was just sitting there a good half an hour. And so I was like, okay, maybe he's just waiting for someone. I don't really care. So this is like 12, 1 o'clock, around that time. I'm just sitting there, thinking, pondering my life. And then I go inside, get like a popsicle or something, get a drink of water, come back outside, and then I'm sitting there, 5 minutes, he drives by, but from the other direction. And he goes by very slowly, and every time he passes me, he goes, and it's just creepy.
That is weird.
And so I look at him, and it's just like,
You got yourself a stalker, girl. A stalker.
a stalker.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, and I kind of just like, okay. And then 10 minutes later, passes by again from the other direction. Now, you see, I was having a rough day, wasn't thinking straight. I should have called the police. Didn't, but I survived.
Somebody's watching me.
And so, yeah, he goes by, and he looks at me creepily again. So I stare at him, and I go, leave me alone. I'm trying to... Anyway.
What?
But I was like, whatever, I'm just not going to let that bother me. He comes by again. This time, I know, I should have called the police.
You should have.
This time I go inside, because we have like a glass door. And, yeah, so I'm standing outside the glass door, and I see him go by, and I take a picture of his car. He sees me take a picture of his car. And he doesn't come back. Still. End of story, gets reported to the police. I get to talk to a police officer. It was cool. But, yeah, that's my creepy stalker story.
Okay, guys, so this one is kind of gross. If you do not like cockroaches, then skip these two.
Well, I mean, if it'll bother you.
Yeah, okay.
They're kind of like cockroach horror stories.
Yeah. Okay, so, this is about my aunt. This isn't about me. But when she was younger, like, I don't know, 10, 12-ish, she was watching TV in her great-grandmother's house. No, grandmother's house, not great-grandma. And she was just laying out, spread it out on the floor, and she was messing with a plastic bag in her hand. Or so she thought it was a plastic bag. So when the commercials hit, when it was commercial time, whatever you want to say, she looked down at her hand, and it was the remains of a cockroach, which she had squished. Yeah. Gross.
Oh, that must have been an interesting surprise.
It was so, like, that's
Okay.
so gross.
And this is my cockroach horror story. Actually took place in these walls. So, long time ago, don't worry, it's roach and bug free. So,
That we know of.
it was when I was in 7th grade, and I was laying down. It was a school night, and we had to get up at like 5 in the morning for school. So, I was tired, and I was half asleep. I had made this. Well, rewind. This is like a little loft. I have my mattress in here now, but it used to be just a pallet made out of like blankets and things. So I was sleeping on that. I was half asleep, and I, kind of daydreaming or whatever. And I felt something on my arm. I was sleeping kind of like this, of course, horizontally. And my arm was, above the blanket. And then I felt something, just a little on my arms. And when I froze, I was like, okay, am I just being paranoid, or is there something on my arm? And then it moved. Yeah, that's not just paranoia. So, I kind of go really fast like that, and I shoot it over to this wall because my little pallet was where behind the camera is, so we're like that way. So I was, shot off, hit this wall, and fell. And then I flipped the light switch on, move. Light switch. So, I flipped on the light, and then, cockroach. So, yeah, I went down my loft, and then I came up later. I couldn't find it. So, 2 minutes later, couldn't find it. So, did not sleep in here.
Got a blast.
I mean, the worst part about finding a bug in your house is losing it.
Yeah. And you're screwed.
Well, that's it for this cockroach horror story. Okay, this one is about my brother, and I do love him. It's not personal, but it was just so stupid how this happened. It was just like, how do you manage that? Anyway, so he was taking a bath or whatever. I don't know the details because I wasn't in the bath with him, of course. That would be disgusting. He was like 10, 9, something like that. So he's standing on we got a standard bathtub. It's kind of built in, and you got the little ledge, and then it goes down. You got the bath, and you got the rest of the bathroom. He's standing on here getting out or something, and he falls. Busts his head open. That's not very funny. But you know what he busted his head open on? A barrette. How do you fall on a barrette? It's
That's so
because you gotta fall on it just the right way to split your head open. I mean,
how big was the barrette?
probably just like this big, a standard barrette. It's
How does that even happen?
but if you know my brother, it's possible.
If you know me, anything's possible. As you'll see next video.
Next story.
Okay, so this is at the community college, okay? There's a few male security guards there.
You didn't have to say that again. I was just keep going. Sorry.
Okay. So there's a few male security guards. And
Females too.
yeah.
Black, white, whatever. I don't know.
I don't really pay attention to that. But these male security guards in particular, especially this one, he likes flirting with college students. Now, I was taking a test. I was making up a test, and there were people going over the answers in my class, so I had to take it outside in the break room. And so as I was doing that, this guy comes in, and he's flirting with some college girls, a few feet away from me. and they're obnoxious. Like,
Wait, is it that
do you see
group?
I'm taking... No.
Oh, or is it the security guard? It wasn't the really obnoxious group that's always obnoxious?
No.
Oh.
It was the security guard being obnoxious with them.
And
Like,
they're supposed to be... And what's ironic is that before this, they hung up signs that says, no loud music or loud, discussions or whatever. And other things, kind of keep your tone neutral.
Yeah. Anyway, so,
The irony.
they were just giggling, whatever. And I was like, okay, I knocked on my teacher's door, Miss Rome, I'm moving because these people are obnoxious and I can't take my test. Okay, now, so...
You just said her name.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, so, I go to this other place. This is like, the library was closed. I can go in there. So, the security desk is right there. And then there's some tables and chairs for, like, hanging out. And so I went over there. And then the security guy, I guess, decided to stop flirting with them. Came back. And he was like, he came to the security desk and started playing some loud music. Like, are you following me, trying to make me... Okay, maybe it was a coincidence, whatever. Okay, really loud music. I couldn't focus at all. And so I get up. I'm like, hey, excuse me, can you please turn it lower? I'm trying to take a test. He was like, oh, checks me out. Okay.
Did you do the thing that guys do?
Yeah. Gross. Okay, so then I go back. They start playing music again. Okay, and then I told him something. I finished my test, and I went back. Ignored them. A few days later, I guess he's on duty again. That same guy that checked me out.
Wait, which one is the white guy or the black guy?
The black guy.
Okay.
They're all gross looking. They're like, they look really old, but they're not. Like 40s. They look like they're in their 40s. I'm 15.
She's
Please go
obviously
away.
15. She's like 5'3", small, petite. I'm shorter than her, so I'm not one to talk. But anyway, let's keep going.
Okay, so I was going to my classes, in the hallway. I see some people in my grade roaming the halls with me, but then they stopped. Kayla. They stopped and they were like flirting with the security guard, and I was like, gross, whatever. Okay, when they walk away, he starts looking at me, and I was like, no, back off. I was thinking that in my head. I just ignored him, went to my class, whatever. My next class, he was waiting for me at the bottom of the staircase. I was like, and then he had the nerve to ask me, hey, where are you going? To class? Okay. He kept showing up right where I was about to go to class. Like, this is weird. How do you know my schedule? Okay. End of story. I'm just scared for my life now.
And I'm just going to continue off of this one. It also happened in the hallways of this school. And this guy, he was a college student. He looked like 6'6" or something. He was huge.
And she's like, remember,
I'm
shorter than
5
me.
foot, okay? 5 foot. And I'm sitting down. 5 minutes before class is going to start. The teacher normally shows up right on time. It's just me and her, and I think she was laying in the bathroom or something. Anyway, so I'm just sitting there because there's a little bench outside the door. This guy, because, okay, it's a long hallway. Kind of narrow, maybe 5 feet wide.
Just about.
Yeah. So,
Like your height.
and then it's a good 60 feet, 50 feet, maybe farther. I don't know. I'm not a great judge of distance. And so, this giant dude, he's talking to a girl. Okay, yeah, I don't care. Whatever. So he's walking down. They're going kind of slow, leisurely. And so I'm sitting down, on my phone or whatever. I don't remember exactly. And then he just kind of looks at me, keeps staring at me as he slowly walks by. And I'm just staring at him like, I literally do this face.
Do you have a problem with my existence?
And then, so he keeps going down. So I'm sitting maybe like 20 feet. There's some water fountains, and then there's the elevators and the stairs. So he keeps going. He passes the water fountain, looks behind me, he keeps looking at me, and then they hit the button and they're waiting for the elevator. he looks at me again. And it's just like, dude, stop. I am sitting down trying to waste my life on my phone in peace. Please stop. And then she comes back and he's still there and I'm just like...
And yeah, if you're a guy,
It's
don't
like-
get you don't, girls do not want you to stare at them for like a half hour. That's weird.
I mean, if... Okay, if you want to introduce yourself to them, introduce yourself and be friendly. Don't stalk them.
Yeah.
It freaks them out and it makes them want to take a restraining order.
She's not wrong.
It's like,
Yeah.
that was kind of short, but hey. Okay.
Okay, guys. So I had a pretty traumatic week a few weeks ago.
This was like last week.
Yeah. Okay, so a lot of bad things happened all in 1 week. Okay. So it all started off with my fan. This is like a horror story for like. It's another horror story. How are all of these horror stories?
I mean, they're not horror stories, they're just unfortunate events.
A series of unfortunate
In your case, a
events.
series.
That's just my life. I mean, I'm just unfortunate. Anyway, so, my fan. I was changing, okay, my dresser is like, okay, here's my dresser, okay? Like 3 feet away. Here's my fan, okay? It falls! Boom! Like,
At 11 o'clock at night.
yeah, it was like really late. And, okay, so I was changing. I hear a crash. No, first the lights went out and then it crashed. And then I was frozen. And then I turned around and I was like, oh my god, I knew this was going to happen. How did I know this was going to happen?
It was funny because, every time I'd go to her house, or not every time, most of the time she's like, we can't put the fan higher. It'll fall out the ceiling because it would shake. You know how old fans do? She lives in
Yeah.
an old house.
That
And
was-
hey, it finally went. It still
has not been put up. It's, it's been a good week. And it broke the thing. I don't know, some idiot decided, the way they put it in the fan, it was an idiot. Like, they put it on a metal bar to where it's really easy for it to fall. Yeah. Anyway. And
the
so,
person who designed your room, period.
I don't even know.
Okay,
I mean,
so you can explain this part.
okay, pretend this is my room, okay? Except pretend it's square. So, I have a door right here, a huge window that covers up this wall, and 2 closets. Where am I supposed to put furniture?
There's 2 walls in between, like, okay, so you got this door and maybe like 15
They can't
feet?
see your hand.
15 feet, and then you got the closet, so you can't really put anything there. And then you got another 15 feet, and then another door.
My room is beautiful. Okay, anyway, so after the fan incident, I mean, I woke up the entire household. My parents weren't happy. They blamed it on me. They were like, "Oh yeah, why didn't you tell us this was gonna happen?"
It's like, I was angry. I made it fall.
Oh. Okay, so then, like, the next night, my dad makes pickles. And it's like homemade pickles. They're really good, actually. And, well, I was moving stuff because I was hungry. I got the munchies late at night. And, and so I
Always
decided to move the pickle jar. This pickle jar is huge. Like,
Oh, I've
this
seen
big.
a pickle jar.
This thick. It's thick. Anyway, so I was moving it, and I don't know what happened. I thought I had a good grip on it, but pew, it blew up. Not literally. It just fell on the floor. So
And then your dad.
my dad got really mad. He was really disappointed in me because he spent weeks making them. Anyway, so that happened.
And
then
the foot.
Then the foot. Okay. Then my dad, I mean, I had cleaned all this up, but my dad, this was the day of Mother's Day, actually. Mother's Day, he was making a Mother's Day breakfast for my mom and a few other parents. Anyway, so, and he had stepped on glass. It still, to this day, has not come out of his foot. Then something else happened with glass. What happened?
Okay, this is kind of like a both of us story.
Yeah.
So, we're walking back from the community college. We don't live far. And, you know, it's good maybe 1.5 miles to maybe we have to cross a few busy streets. So, it's us and a couple of our friends. So, we're walking down, we're finally in our neighborhood because we're going to your house.
Yeah.
And so I had a life-proof case on my phone, and it had a pop socket on the back. And we're almost there. Almost there. We're hot. It's like 80 degrees outside. Typical weather. And I dropped my phone on the back on the pop socket. My screen shatters. Life-proof?
Oh my gosh, your neck cracked. I heard it crack. Okay, and then it shatters.
On the back. Like, I left a scathing review. We can just leave it.
My phone screen was even worse than that, if you can believe it. So, yeah, as you can tell, my phone cracked.
And then a few hours later.
On the same road.
A few hours later, you know.
On the same road. We're walking, and I actually don't have my case on. I do have a life-proof, but I didn't have my case on because the life-proof cracked.
Not the phone, thankfully, but the case. And so, actually, you want.
What are you trying to say?
Do you want to share what happened? So, our teacher, she has a thing with power washers. Pressure washers.
Pressure washers. Oh, this is why it cracked.
Pressure washers and firemen, but this one is just pressure washers.
Okay, so one of my neighbors was pressure washing his sidewalk or driveway. And I wanted to take a picture and send it to her. Now, this is the one time I had taken it out of my pocket, and it didn't have a case on it. So I took it out of my pocket.
I told her not
to
do
it. Yeah, she was like, "Don't do that. That's creepy." But I mean, like, my teacher loves them.
It's not like it was the front of his face. You could just see his back. He looked like a typical old guy.
Yeah. And then, pew, as I'm putting it in my pocket, it just falls.
Shatters.
I have the worst luck. Like, you think you're clumsy?
And this is
you
the
think
same
you have
week.
bad luck? This is all the same week. Yeah.
Alright guys, that's it for this story time. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, of course.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anyway, so like it, subscribe if you really liked it. If you want to see more.
Comment down below, or just like the video.
I mean, go ahead, do whatever.
Thanks for watching.